1901.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Cindy Laverty Show. Thanks for staying with us. We're heard on CRN Digital Talk Radio, and it's great to have you here today. It's great for me to be back in the studio. I love sitting in my chair with this microphone, and Paul on the other side of the window. How you doing, Paul? He's nodding his head. Good. You can follow the show on my blog at crn.com/Cindy Laverty. That'll give you announcements about who's coming on every week and what I'm up to. So it's a fun place to hang out. You can listen to past shows also. Join me on Facebook at the Cindy Laverty Show, and you can also follow me on Twitter. So I'm getting better at this social media stuff. Actually, this is how I found my guest today, Ann Vertel, was on Twitter. I started following her, loved what she was writing, and reached out to her. So Twitter works. Be on Twitter if you want to build a fun, creative life. Ann Vertel is my guest, and we're talking about getting out of your own drama, living life that is rooted in success, positive attitude, productive attitude. And Ann was just talking about the importance of gratitude before we went to break. Ann, thanks so much for being here, and let's get back into that conversation.
Well, we were talking about, what do you do when you're down or life seems to be falling around you and everything seems to, and I've certainly had times like that. I've had some times like that recently where I just felt like a total loser. And
thank you for admitting that, because we all feel that way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And more times than I think people realize.
Right.
And for me, I have to move into gratitude at that point. I have to go, okay, what am I really grateful for in my life? And sometimes I have to go to the absolute basics, which are, I'm grateful for running water.
Right. Clean running water. Yeah.
Clean running water. Yeah. And, that's more than the majority of people in the world have.
Right.
Or, a roof over my head. Or, and then you can move into, food and a family that loves me and an opportunity to generate my own income. I'm not looking for somebody to do it for me.
Right.
I'm looking for what's possible. Give me the opportunity. And so when I do that, I'm better able to turn and look at the things that are making me feel down and go, okay, it's not as bad as it seems. I have all of this going for me.
Right.
And given all of that, what am I going to do with it?
Do you write these things down, or is this like sort of a meditative process that you do? I find that having a gratitude journal is a really good thing for me.
I know a lot of people do that. I think one of the ways that I love to explore that is in the evening when my family sits down to dinner and we say grace. One of the things we talk about is what we're grateful for.
Right. And
that brings my ability to look at what I'm grateful for into the family and hear what they're grateful for as well. And that really makes us aware of how truly blessed we are.
And I think we should also be grateful, when times are really tough, about just reassuring yourself that you're going to be okay, that it's going to be okay, that there are people who will not let you starve to death. There are people that will, help you out, not necessarily financially, but support you. This gratitude thing is really important, and you can't be a victim if you're being grateful, right?
Absolutely. And it's not just about being okay. It's about stepping up into the life that you were given. And we were not meant to just survive this life.
Right.
Just get through it. We were given gifts and talents, and we were meant to soar. And as part of that is surrounding yourself with people who believe in you and who are not toxic to your dreams.
Let's talk about those toxic people, whether they're in your family or they're your so-called friends. And I think you really have to evaluate these types of people who have come into your life. But I want to hear what you have to say about that.
Absolutely. Sometimes you don't even realize you're around toxic people because they're sort of like what I call the 98% crowd. They seem positive, but then there's that little 2% where they just inflict doubt into everything that you talk about. And if you can separate yourself from toxic people, awesome. But some people can't. They're married to somebody like that, or their in-laws are like that, or they have somebody that a friend, and
even a parent.
Even a parent, absolutely. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
we just mess up our kids so much. But what you do in that situation is you can still communicate with toxic people. You just don't talk to them about your dreams, about your desires, about where you want to go, about how you want to improve and enhance your life, because they will put doubt
Yep.
in your mind.
Yep.
You don't need doubt when you're trying to build some big, audacious dream.
Right. And it's funny because this really happened to me, I would say 4 or 5 years ago. I really had to clean house with the people who I was hanging out with. And it was hard for me because there's this voice in my brain going, what are you doing? What are you doing? And yet life is really a lot better without them around. It just has been easier. And you open yourself up to bring the new in, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. You create a whole new power team.
Yeah. Yeah. And you got to be really careful about who you bring in. All right. I got to take another break. Stay with us. You're listening to Cindy Laverty Show on CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'll be right back. Hi, I'm Cindy